I want to reconcile some biblical mathematics. This covers some arithmetic covered in the Bible in the books of Ezekiel, Daniel, and Jeremiah. It's actually quite simple. Okay, so Daniel 8:14 establishes 2,300 days as the duration of the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the abomination which maketh desolate, and the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot. Then, so you start at the first. The chronology is based on, it's like experienced, if you will, by Ezekiel. So, Ezekiel is the starting point. Ezekiel 1, the first two verses, establishes the 5th day of the 4th month of the 5th year of the captivity of Jehoiakim. We know from Jeremiah 52:4 and 2 Kings 25:3 that the destruction or the famine becomes too great. The city is broken in from the Babylonians. That's in the 9th day of the 4th month of the 11th year. So that's almost exactly 6 years. That's 6 years and 4 days. So in 6 years, that's, if you include a leap year, the leap year day, you can add 1 or 2. It really doesn't matter for the point of this, but you end up with 2191 or 2192. You add those 4 days. So from the point of the beginning of Ezekiel's prophecy until the day of the breaking in of Jerusalem, once the famine becomes too great, you have roughly 2,195 days. And then it also gives you in Jeremiah what happens months later when Ishmael comes and kills Gedaliah, the appointed governor of Jerusalem, the Babylonian appointed governor. That happens in the 7th month, and it's vague to leave the window open, but to not make it too obvious. Prophecy has to last, thousands of years. So, if you it's just simple mathematics. So, if it was the 9th day, you count 21 days. You assume 30 days for a month. I think that's established in Moses with with being symbolic in the text. Given age range, it goes for such and such so many shekels. You do those for days. So one of them establishes 30. Just go 30 for a month. You don't got to worry which is 31 or 30. So you go 21 days in the 4th month left. roughly 2216 you got there. The next month, so that we'll just do rest of 4th. This is 5th. You're at 2246 plus 30 for the 6th. You're now at 2276. Take away 2300, and you're left with like the 24th day of the 7th month. 24th day of the 7th month is when that's a cleansing. That's when the sanctuary is cleansed. The Babylonian appointed governors murdered by Ishmael, equaling 2300 days. That's where all the chronologies, it jumbles it up, but it's actually quite simple. Then the very last verses of Daniel, it gives you more chronology. So just playing around with the numbers, I think it makes a lot of sense. If you so it says, from the day the sacrifice is taken away until the abomination which maketh desolate set up, there should be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waiteth, and cometh unto his 1,335th day. But go thy way, Daniel, for you shall stand in thy lot at the end of the days. But if you just take away the high end of that, 1335 from 2,300. Oh, sorry. Roughly 965 days. And that takes you right to the beginning of the 8th year. So I mean, that's just I guess that's when like the abomination is supposed to be placed. But I think that's how you reconcile these things. Also of note, the very physical properties of the temple that Ezekiel painstakingly describes, it ultimately can be used just like chronology. That's what those measurements ultimately formulate. The exact amount of days. So if you just go from like 0 point until the beginning of Ezekiel's prophecy is 1,566 days, I think. It's the exact amount of days, the exact year it was when Noah, when Noah was born. So it's like, and then 100 years later he begat 3 sons. Noah does, but like there's a connection there. Ezekiel, that's how you have to interpret the Bible. Everybody is one character. That is the blessed character, Jesus, his descendantry. The exact day, the amount of days before the start of Ezekiel is the amount of years chronicled in Genesis until Noah's birth. Then 100 years after that, Noah gives birth to Shem and Japheth and the other one. I won't go into that. But so that's just some little number play. But that's how you have to reconcile Daniel's 2,300 days. It's the exact amount of days of Ezekiel's prophecy until first the breaking down of Jerusalem, and then unto the cleansing of the sanctuary, which falls into exactly 2,300 days. I was thinking about Ezekiel, and so when he constructs the temple, that the sun's coming in exactly from the east at like the 0 point of an axis of a quadrant, and I I was just playing around with that, and then I thought of, so I was thinking of Ezekiel, the altar, and I came up with, I think, a pretty significant formula, which is just elegant in its simplicity, but so that right there, x cubed minus x minus 1 cubed always results in a prime number, or its factors are a series of prime numbers, or semi-prime numbers. So like numbers which themselves are not prime but are comprised of prime numbers, like 91. No, not 91. I had examples of these. Maybe I'll update this. This has been jumbled, improvised. That's how you have to reconcile that. Oh, this is Christmas morning, 2020. Terrible, terrible, terrible year of our Lord, 2020. 12:45 a.m.